Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's White Gamer. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some defending tips, and hopefully these tips help you guys out. We're going to break down different scenarios, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. So for this first scenario, everyone, we're currently getting very close to our opponent. I'm also looking at the guy with the ball, and I'm just staying very close to him to see what he's doing, and then I automatically start the speed jockey, which is with L2 and R2 if you're on PlayStation, and I let go as soon as his teammate is about to get the ball in front of him and just start going sprint. You want to transition between speed jockey and sprint as soon as whenever there's like a through ball happening or something like that. And then as you guys can see, I'm staying very close to my opponent, and I'm currently just jockeying LT, and at the same time you want to be as close as possible so they don't get a free shot. Here he goes for the shot. That was honestly his only option. He didn't have the passing lane open either. So when in these scenarios, you want to always be as close as possible. Do not give your opponent a free shot or it could lead to a goal. In this scenario, our opponent is making his way inside the box. He gets an unlucky bounce. As you guys can see, I am currently jockeying and I'm in the shooting lane, and at the same time I was covering his teammate in case he went for the pass. Now our opponent gets through, and at the same time I'm positioning myself to see where he's going to shoot it. The closest angle to me is my left side, which he goes for the shot, and then my guy makes a block because I was in the shooting lane. And at the same time, guys, we also have that pass cover. So sometimes as a center back, even though you might not be close enough to your opponent, if you're in the proper shooting lane where your opponent is going to position his body to shoot, you can get a block. For this third scenario, as soon as his teammate passes the ball and he gets it, I am speed jockeying with L2, R2 if you're on PlayStation. At the same time, I'm covering both passes, the guy on the right and the guy on the left. And as soon as he makes the decision, guys, I go for the interception. You can cover two players at once from certain angles, depending how the situation is. In this scenario, as soon as his teammate passes it, I start making my way out wide. I'm covering not only the guy, but also any passes going forward. And as soon as he passes it, guys, since I'm close enough, I start sprinting and make my way to make that interception. That's how I got this one. For this scenario, we're going to be talking about ball watching and positioning. As you guys can see, I am looking at the ball right now, and at the same time, I am marking my opponent. A lot of defenders that I've played with or have gone against, sometimes they're called ball watching, which means you're just looking at the play and not focus on your opponent that you have to be marking. So you want to know what is going on at all times, and at the same time keep in mind not to leave your opponent open. And as soon as they make the pass, I start getting closer to my opponent. I see that they're going to go for the far post. Why? Because they think that I'm not aware of him, which I am. And then as soon as they go for it, I make my towards my opponent and I win that header for this scenario. But keep in mind, you do not want to be caught ball watching as a defender. For this scenario, guys, we're going to be using advanced defending. Advanced defending lets you separate your seal outs and your out body from the tackling. So as soon as he sends a through ball, I know that I gotten beat. I get very close to him, shoulder to shoulder, then I'm pressing or double tapping A. The first press lets me out body them. The second one lets me do a pass. Highly recommend you guys to use advanced defending. For this situation, it's another ball watching. I'm looking at the guy with the ball, and at the same time, I'm sprinting and marking my area, my whole zone. And not every opponent will do this, but some will do this because they assume that you're not paying attention. Again, back to that ball watching. Make sure you're never ball watching as a defender. And that was an easy win since I was ahead of him by miles. In this situation, his teammate sends him an over the top through ball. I start closing in on him. Whenever there's an over the top through ball, you want to get as close as possible to your opponent, especially if they're out in the wing. The only two things he could have done is either go down the wing or cut. As soon as I saw the ball was bouncing and there was that space between his feet and the ball, you want to make a tackle, guys. This is another advanced defending scenario. Here I'm playing left back. I'm way too wide. There's a gap between me and the CB. He sends a little ball through, And then I know I'm not going to be able to tackle him, so I just start sprinting, and get as close as possible. I do the advanced defending, which is A, start tapping it so I can outbody him and throw him off balance. It'll be X if you're on PlayStation, but I highly recommend you guys to use advanced defending. In this scenario, guys, we're going to focus on positioning and man marking your guy. Now, the majority of the time when someone goes down the wing, they're going to either have two options. Either take the shot or go for the extra pass. Now, this is going to be the majority of the cases. Now, here we see the passing angle and we see his teammate coming in. So we start going in forward. You want to get in that passing lane, guys, and be in front of your opponent. And this is how we got this one. Again, positioning is very important and where the passing trajectory is going to go. In this last scenario, it's another advanced defending situation, guys. Advanced defending is very good. He sends a through ball. It is way too in front of me for me to make a tackle or anything like that. I just keep sprinting, and as soon as I get shoulder to shoulder, I start tapping A to body him and then to automatically pass the ball. Again, advanced defending is very, very important.